morning, everyone, and welcome to our final chair yoga. Yeah, sitting with ourselves. Not an easy task, I know for me, not really very easy at all. But today I invite you to, wherever you are in your practice, in your life, find some peace and acceptance, because that's the present moment. When we can sit in where we are present. And I know our shout out today is to 4 people. I hope I get them all. Deb Hallett, who has an ankle issue, Sally Walsh and Anne McLean, who both had knee replacements, and Jessie McDonough, who had ACL surgery. So all 4 of those gals are not going to be on the mat for a bit. And yours truly has had my share of issues. We'll leave it at that. And I can only hope that yoga comes off the mat and into your lives. It's wonderful to twist, and our organs and our breath and everything. It's just so good for the body. But there's also the mind, the spirit, the soul that need attention. And when we learn to sit and be and accept, and maybe that's surrender, that's a good thing. So I don't know about you guys, but there's lots of times that I have a difficult time with that. And whether it's regret for what I said, for what I did, and then there's the emotion on top of the emotion. So I just invite you today to let a lot of that go and spend this next hour together adjusting to wherever you are in your practice to be. And I've added a few different yoga chair poses so that when we do move onto the mat next week, that you can go back, those that aren't quite ready, to find between last week and this week some good practice. So a little housekeeping here. Always blow your nose because breath is certainly, I think, the gateway into that presence. So remove any obstacles. We're always removing obstacles in life, but the nose is something we can definitely do something about by blowing it. And then if you do have blocks, some of you whose legs may be, so this would be too high for me, you can see. I want that nice angle. But depending upon your chair, you may need books, block, whatever. And then strap. I think we might try and do some arm movements with the strap. And if your chair isn't, mine's cushioned, use a blanket or something. So be where you are, wherever you're sitting, and sit with how you're feeling. If you're anxious, if you're sad, can you be with those emotions? Witness them. Don't judge them. And I invite you now with your hands facing down in a grounding pose or upwards in a gesture of receiving. With your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's just roll our shoulders for a moment. Up, back, and down. Engage your belly. Root in through your sits bones, extending through the crown of your head as though someone had a ponytail and was pulling you up. I invite you to close your eyes. With your lips pursed together, begin to breathe in through your nose, feeling your belly expand, rib cage and lungs fill up. And then exhale, contracting your belly, pushing all the air out. Feel this movement of your core. Inhale, belly, rib cage and lungs fill up and expand. Exhaling out all through your nose. Just slowing everything down right now. Inhaling and exhaling. Allowing the mind, the thoughts, as they will come in. Assure them that you'll get to the thoughts, but right now you're listening and feeling your breath. If you constrict the back of your throat, you come into that audible ocean, ujjayi breath. It's almost like Darth Vader. And when we listen to our breath, the mind automatically begins to slow down. And everything else in the body begins to relax. You are about to take a journey inside, addressing the inside of your body. So often we do a lot of things externally. Most of our life is experienced on the outside. Right now, tend to the inside. Think of it as a garden inside. As you inhale and exhale, feeling the breath, the prana, the life force filling you up, and then letting go of that which you no longer need, doesn't serve you, has served its purpose. And once again, you take in this continuous motion of breathing in and out. Draw your attention to it. Feel it. Hear it. Allow it to calm and quiet your body. 3 more ujjayi breaths. Opening your eyes, let's once again roll the shoulders up, back, and down. If we were standing, we'd make sure that we had a straight spine, core is engaged, rooting down through your sits bones. I'm going to turn my chair because we're going to come to the edge of the chair with your feet flat on the mat, on the floor, making sure we're not slumped. How often do we do this, right? So shoulders up, back, and down, core engaged. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, float both arms down. Inhale. Fingertips touch. Hold your inhale. Exhale. How slow, how controlled can you breathe your exhale? Let's try one more slowly. Turning palms up. Inhale. Breathe all the way up. Exhale, slowly. Both arms come down. I'm going to come to the front of the mat. On your next inhale, drop your right arm down as you reach your left arm up. Let's just hold this, keeping both feet flat. You're still on the edge of your chair, but you're reaching in opposite direction. Turn your gaze to look up as your left arm dips down. Don't come forward, just feel the stretch, the opening in your right intercostal muscles. Your core is engaged. Not a terribly comfortable pose, but we're extending, we're opening up. Breathe. On your next exhale, drop your right arm down. Inhale, left arm comes up all the way. Right arm dips down. Reach up, turn your gaze up. And breathe, feeling the opening in the intercostal, the rib cage on your left side. Just slowly, we're slowly warming up here. Awakening the body. Can you notice? Just notice how your sides feel here, how the breath, can you envision the breath kind of dancing in between your rib cage? One more inhale and exhale here. On your next exhale, float both arms down. And now, cat-cow. So again, coming to the edge of your seat here. On your next inhale, let's bring our arms behind. Inhale, chest up, head back. On your next exhale, bring your arms forward in front of your knees. Touch your knees or your shins, chin to chest on the exhale. Inhale, arms come back. Maybe you can touch the back of your chair. Drop your head back, open your chest. Exhale, arms come forward, chin to chest. We're going to add something on this, which is just fun. Inhale, arms come back, head goes back, and now do the Donald. So it's kiss the ceiling. This is really good for those neck muscles that don't get enough. You know, we're always concerned with tightening the neck. So hold it here and do 5 kisses to the ceiling. I like to call it the Donald just because. On your next exhale, let's do 2 more and 5 Donalds when you come back. Inhale. You can exhale as you do your Donalds. And if we can't laugh at ourselves and have fun, folks, I don't know. Last one, inhale, arms come back, head goes back, chest out, arch your back, do the Donald. Exhale, arms come forward, chin to chest, hold it here. Really round your spine, feel your lower back open up. On your next inhale, come back to center. We're going to warm up just to get us a little warm here. So I'm going to ask you to stretch your feet out and come to the edge of your seat into a reverse plank. So I'm going to back up here so you can see, and then I'll come to the side. So what you want to do is stretch out. This chair yoga is not easy for the video here. But, so you can hold it here, press up, don't drop your head all the way back, but open up. On your next exhale, just dip down. Maybe touch your butt to the end of your chair. Inhale, come up. This is gonna just warm us up. Just warm up the muscles because we're gonna come into some twists. Inhale, come on up. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. On this exhale, walk your feet back and come down to seated. We're going to do that once more. Take a deep inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, and you can take this as deep. You know, some of you who aren't restricted, instead of the reverse plank, you can do the dips. So you can come all the way down and come up. This will warm you up. Come all the way down, maybe flex your feet, don't touch your butt to the ground. You can do these. That's a nice way to warm up. Or for those whose knees may be compromised and you're just getting your strength back, I think the reverse plank. So on your next inhale, draw your shoulders back. Breathe. On your next exhale, just dip down a wee bit, and then inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale. 3 more. Move with your breath. Remember, motion is lotion. So we always want to breathe with whatever motion we're in. On your next exhale, walk your feet and come on back. Hopefully you feel some heat now in your body. How's everyone doing? My clock ran out of battery, so gotta keep eye on the time. Okay, so what I'd like to do is some twists. Again, I'm going to show you from the side with your feet coming to the edge of your seat. Inhale, arms come up. On your next exhale, arms come down. Right arm in front, left out to the side. If you can, bring your hand holding the edge of the seat, your right arm to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. I'll show that from the front. So your inhale, come up, exhale. Right arm comes to the outside of your left knee, left arm behind. Inhale, and now exhale, gaze over and hold this. Breathe. Keeping your head up on each exhale, extending, looking over your left shoulder. On your next inhale, arms come up. Exhale, left hand comes to the outside of right knee, right arm behind, grab a hold of your seat behind. On your next inhale, extend up, and then exhale, twist, gazing over your right shoulder. Feet firmly planted, core engaged. Make sure you're rooting your feet into the floor and breathe. One more inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, release and just come. We're going to do that again on both sides. So inhale, arms come up. On your next exhale, left arm comes behind, right arm comes to the outside of your left knee. On your exhale, you're just drawing your gaze over the left shoulder. Each inhale has you extending through the crown of your head. Exhale, twisting. Really engage your core here. And breathe. On your next inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, right arm comes down, left arm to the outside of right knee, and twist. Gazing over your right shoulder, and breathe. On your next inhale, arms come up. Exhale. And now for those that can stand, and again, as those who have just had surgeries and are having difficulties or challenges, we're going to place one leg over the chair. So you're going to want to have this sort of, so my left leg is draped over the chair. My foot is firmly planted on the mat. My right leg is extended back. It's in a flex, so the top of my toes. So you're really feeling this nice stretch. You don't want to be too arched. Core is always engaged here. On your next inhale, bring both arms up, biceps along the ears. And let's just hold this pose here for a moment. This is where we would be in high crescent lunge. So holding it here, we just got the support underneath the left thigh. And breathe here. Holding it here, reaching up through your fingertips. Maybe each exhale might have you extending your right leg back a wee bit, and breathe. One more inhale, and on your next exhale, floating both hands down. Inhale, taking your right hand to the outside of your bent left knee. Take your left hand behind. You can grab a hold of your costume or bring it to the outside of your right thigh. It just sets you up for a nice twist. And breathe. We warmed up the spine. And breathe here. Just a deeper stretch. On your next inhale, unwind here. And on your next exhale, just come to the front. We haven't moved this thigh, so this thigh is still, your toes are pointed out to the side. And now here, let's just come and bring your torso facing the front. We've been facing the side, now come to the front. Feel that opening here in your hips. And breathe, keeping your right toes facing outwards. On your next exhale, drop your right arm down as your left arm comes up. And breathe. Feel this nice opening, this nice stretch here. And just breathe. Feel where you are. If you're recovering, and each week you'll be able to gauge if this is something you choose to do as a part of your recovery, how your body is responding. On your next exhale, let's drop your left elbow onto your left thigh and turn up. And just bringing your right arm up, leaning down. If you want, you can take it as low as you want. Little difficult unless you have a lot of blocks. Dropping your left arm down, reaching up with your right. Just a nice twist. Who would have thought we could twist so much while seated? And breathe. On your next exhale, coming back to center, bring your, let's do goddess pose while we're here. So here in goddess, we're opening the hips, coming maybe to the edge of your seat, bringing your toes facing out. Here, coming to the edge of your seat, shoulders up, back, and down. Really opening the inside of your thighs, placing your hands to the inside of your knees, and just opening here, feeling that nice opening in your groin area. On your next exhale, drop your left elbow onto your left thigh and just take it one more step, keeping always, don't allow your knees to come forward. Really feel, I know I can feel this. So don't, drop your knees, keep them opening and breathe. On your next exhale, drop your right elbow onto your right thigh. Inhale, reach up with your left hand. Breathing, quieting the mind, listening to the breath. On your next exhale, and keeping one last, let's bring arms out to cactus, which is just opening, bending at the elbows. Come up onto your heels so that you're not gripping your toes. Really feel this in your thighs. Bend at the elbows, and now take your palms and bend your wrist backwards. You know, each movement we do, when we can feel the tension, the tightness, wherever it is, and that's all. You know, don't label it, don't judge it. Feel good about the fact that you are so in tune with your body. You can feel these very slight movements. One more, inhale, bring your shoulders back, fingertips back. On your next exhale, drop your palms forward, dip them all the way down, bring your legs in, shake it out. Feels good, huh? Okay, yeah, sure. Alrighty, now we're gonna go to the other side, dropping your right knee over the chair, extending your left leg all the way back. And if you do need a block here, because your foot doesn't, you know, that's something that only you can. You know what the height of your chair is, but really make sure that you can get that nice draping over your chair so that your right foot, if anything, your toes are nicely planted. On your next inhale, reach up, interlace your fingers, biceps alongside your ears. So you're still rooting down in your sits bones. You're really feeling your sits bones, your pubic bone, and everything pressing into the chair, extending through your fingertips, biceps alongside your ear. You really feel it out also of your left heel. So you're pressing into your left toes, feeling the nice stretch in the back of your calf, and breathing. Inhale and exhale. Again, this is high crescent lunge. On your next exhale, dropping down your left hand to the outside of your right knee, bringing your right hand maybe to the outside of your thigh, maybe just grabbing a hold of your yoga pants or wherever you are, but if you can reach around and grab a hold of the outside of your thigh, the object is to extend up through the crown of your head and then twist, wringing out the spine, and breathe. One more inhale and exhale here. On your next exhale, releasing as you bring your left, let me just move this block out to the side, bringing your left foot facing forward. Your right leg is still, so now we're just in this is almost like warrior, think of warrior two. So we're in a warrior two pose here. Not thinking we are, but we're balancing our right thigh over the chair. So inhale, extend out through both fingertips and breathe. On your next exhale, drop your right elbow onto your right thigh. Inhale, extend up, left fingertips, pressing your right thigh, right elbow into right thigh as you gaze up and breathe. One more inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, come on up to center. Let's drop, I should have done this on the other side, but dropping your left arm down. Inhale, reach up and back. A nice reverse warrior. And breathe. One would think chair yoga, you can't do a lot, but you kind of can. And it's not putting the pressure maybe on your knees or your, whatever part of the body may be in recovery, you're tending to. On your next exhale, floating your right fingertips down and just come on back up into a seated pose. I invite you to just close your eyes at the moment and feel You know, maybe there's tingling, maybe there's a heat sensation, but just go there. You know, can you feel your body exactly where you are? Maybe you've brought some heat and blood into where your recovery, your knee or your hip, whatever it is, ankle. And, you know, that's really part of the healing, right? So coming back to a seated pose, coming to the edge of your chair, shoulders up, back, and down, really being mindful of not a hunch, but shoulders up, back, and down. On your next inhale, raise your right foot up, bringing your right foot to the outside or to the top of your left knee, and just hold it here for a moment. And as we're going to do this again, and we're going to pull it in and push down a little further, but we're going to allow the hip just to feel the sensation of where we are. Pressing down into your left toes. Bring your toes up, just wiggle them so that you do feel that you are using the weight of all four corners of your foot, that we're not gripping into the mat with toes. So often we do, we grip. I hold on to life. I mean, I hold on to dear life, like, you know, with my fingertips. Sometimes I think I'm just holding on. Nothing wrong with that as long as you're trying, right? But there is a time to relax and feel where you are. So I'm pressing down to the inside of my right knee as I'm pulling to the top of my right foot, just pulling it in a wee bit. I'm not hunching my shoulders. My shoulders are up, back, and down, extending through the crown of the head. Core is engaged. And breathe. On your next exhale, release, bringing your right foot down. Inhale, left foot comes up. And, you know, I'm 3 weeks into my injury. And, you know, this week able to really kind of bend and do this. Couldn't have done it 2 weeks ago. But I can see that my foot doesn't want to come back. So it's really sliding out. So honor where you are. I'm not going to be able to go as deep as I did on the right side, and that's okay. I sometimes like to interlace my fingers in between my toes, kind of like, you know, you would your hands when in, and just come inside to your toes. I like to do that. I get a good grip that way, and just gently. And I can see I'm leaning because of favoring this, and that's okay. You know, we often in some of the classes pointing out the difference between pain and discomfort. And this is a really good, those who are recovering, a good opportunity to recognize the difference between pain and discomfort. We often back away from discomfort, and perhaps we could go a little bit deeper. And some of us walk the edge of pain and push it a little too far. And that's not good either. So your body is your best teacher. And the more that we sit quietly and go inside, we really get to know the body. And the body responds. You know, it's our friend, not our foe. So one more inhale and exhale here. On the exhale, bring your knee down, and those of us might want to give them a little pat. Nice job. Okay, we're going to do the other side and go just a wee bit deeper. Inhale, right leg comes up, drawing your right foot inside. Exhale, elbow, hand onto your knee as you really sit up straight, and feeling each inhale and exhale as you draw. It's a beautiful hip opener. You know, this we can do all the time, you know, at our desks, Those who play golf, it's a wonderful, right before you go out there or while you're waiting, it's a wonderful pose. When you get out of the car, because of the sitting, it's just a great pose. Breathing in and out, straight spine, maybe going a little deeper down. One inhale here, and on the exhale, release. Inhale, left leg comes up, drawing your left foot on top of your right thigh, drawing your foot perhaps, and it's interesting, I can go a little bit deeper, because if you move slowly, the body is more responsive. When we move quickly, it tightens up, it's preparing for what it may have to protect itself. And so when we move slowly, I think the body intuitively opens up and is responsive to what we're bringing. And with the breath and movement and mindfulness, yes, wonderful combination. So inhale, shoulders up, back and down, core engaged, maybe pressing lightly, a little bit deeper, feeling your hip open. One more inhale, deep inhale. And on the exhale, ride your foot back down onto the floor. On your next inhale, let's stand up and we're going to do down dog here. So I invite you to place your hands, maybe your wrists are at the edge of your seat, and then just walk your feet back. Come to think of it, I think your palm should go almost to the edge, so it's a nice support. And walk your feet all the way back, coming up onto your toes as you walk back. Drop your head. Your ears are alongside your biceps. Breathe here, just holding it here for a moment. On your exhale, drop your heels. Inhale, raise your heels up, drop your head down. Exhale, heels come down. Inhale, and maybe this is a good way to, shake your head out, flubber your lip, loosen your jaw. We hold a lot of tightness in the jaw as well, the neck and the jaw, a lot of tension in the back of the neck. Really shake your head yes and no. On your next exhale, drop your heels down. On your next inhale, now move forward. And drop your belly, gaze up on the inhale. Exhale, on your toes, drop your head. Heels come to the mat or the floor. Inhale, on your toes as you come forward, palms against the seat, edge of the seat. Exhale, on your toes, ride your heels down to the mat. Let's do 3 more, moving with your breath. Inhale, come forward on the tops of your toes. Exhale, all the way back, heels to the mat. 2 more. Inhale, on your toes, moving forward, drop your belly, gaze up. Exhale, on your toes, head comes down, heels to the ground. Last one. Inhale, move forward, drop your belly, gaze up. Exhale, on your toes, heels to the ground. And now very slowly walk your feet up to your mat. And, just standing, we're not going to do any, just trying to keep it very simple for those who are recovering from any sort of surgery. Let me check time here. Okay, so inhale, both arms come up, biceps alongside your ears. On your next, keeping your feet firmly planted, engage your knees, thighs, pulling your kneecaps up, even, those who have had surgery, engaging your kneecaps, bringing the blood supply to your knees, pulsing that. Inhale, reach up. On your next exhale, bend over, gazing up to the right as you really press into the outside of your right foot. Each exhale has you coming a little bit further down, and breathe. Holding it here. On your next inhale, using your core to bring you back to center. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, melt over to the right side as your gaze comes up to the left. Really feeling the nice stretch in your left hip. Each exhale may have you just dipping a wee bit down further. Feet firmly planted, thighs engaged, kneecaps pulled up. On your next inhale, come back to center. And here, dropping the head all the way back. Reaching up with your fingertips, thighs engaged, kneecaps pulled up. On your next exhale, pressing your thighs, your pelvic area forward as though your fingers were painting a line across the ceiling as you exhale. Each exhale further down. One more breath. On the inhale, come on up. And then exhale all the way down forward. And maybe this is where you land on your chair. On your next exhale, come all the way forward. If this is where you are, walk your fingertips to the end of your chair and rest your forehead on the chair. This is a nice kind of, almost like a happy baby, but engage your core. Make sure your core is engaged, your kneecaps, your thighs are engaged. You're protecting your lower back. You're extending out. Rest your forehead all the way down. For those who are able and want to come all the way down to the mat and bringing your palms on a block on the mat. I like to reverse. So the eyes of your elbow are coming down in front. Shake your head yes and no. If you want, slip your palms under your feet. This is Pada Hata. Your pot is under your hot is under your padas. Shake your head yes and no, and bend your elbows towards your shins, shaking your head yes and no. Thighs are engaged, kneecaps pulled up. Wherever you are, we're in a nice inversion. On your next exhale, bringing your hands back to the chair, or if you're in the chair, raising your head up. And now bringing your hands to your waist and coming up into a flat back. So if I wanted, you would become a chair or a table. So I could place a tray on your back. Your kneecaps are pulled up, your thighs are engaged. You're extending out through the crown of your head here. You might not think this is much of a pose, but it really is, because your shoulders are pulled back, your thighs are engaged, and breathe. On your next inhale, come on up to stand. Standing in front of your chair, we're going to move into chair pose. And you can either, in chair, maybe I'll put this to the side. You can either, sit or hover or, really. So you go to wherever you are, as far down. The closer you get without touching the chair, the more difficult it will be. So, standing in front of your chair, a few inches away from your chair here, so that the back of your legs are away from it. Shoulders up, back and down, core is engaged, kneecaps, thighs engaged, kneecaps pulled up, your feet. I always like to just check, and I raise my toes always off the mat to make sure that I can feel all four corners of my feet into the mat. Shoulders up, back, and down. On your next inhale, bring both arms up. Biceps along your ear. On your exhale, knees touching, toes touching, ankles touching, come down. Your biceps are alongside your ears. You're coming all the way down. Maybe you feel your chair, and then you come up. Engage your core here. Arms alongside your ears, alongside your head, holding it here and breathing. If you need to sit down, do. If you want to come up higher, do so. It's your practice, but feel the engagement of your core, reaching out through your fingertips, and breathe. Breathe into this Utkatasana, awkward chair. On your next exhale, drop your hands down, shake your head yes and no, and have a seat. We're going to do that 2 more times. We're going to do a twist. We're going to do it 1 more and then with a twist. On your next inhale, let's stand up. You're still standing away from your chair a wee bit. On your next inhale, both arms come up. Biceps alongside, core engaged, thighs. On your next exhale, slowly begin to come down. Toes raised, bring your toes off the mat, staring at your toes or a few inches in front, wherever it is that you are, and reaching out through your fingertips. Pull in your belly. Feel the opening in your chest and breathe. Let's do 3 more deep Ujjayi breaths here. That's 1, 2 more. You got this. 2. Last one. On your next exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands, maybe to the mat. Shake your head yes and no. On your next inhale, come on up and have a seat. Okay, we're going to do it 1 last time. And this time we're going to twist to both sides, holding it for a few breaths. Okay, on your next inhale, come on up to stand. Get yourself ready. Knees, toes touching. Draw your toes off the mat. See your toes here. On your next inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, interlace your fingers, keeping your arms parallel, your palms parallel to each other. Breathe here. On your next exhale, bring your hands in to prayer center. Exhale, right elbow comes to the outside of left knee. Inhale, extend up. You might want to gaze to make sure that your right knee doesn't come too far ahead of your left. You want to keep them as close in the same line as possible. And breathe here, pressing your palms together. 1 more inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, come back to center, bringing both arms up. Ride the inhale all the way up. Exhale, bringing your hands into prayer. Inhale brings your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Twist as you gaze up to the right side. Once again, checking your knees, making sure one hasn't come in front of the other. You're hovering over your chair. If you need to sit, by all means, it's your practice. 2 more deep Ujjayi breaths here. Really hear your breath. Feel your breath. On your next inhale, release your hands, and then exhale, come forward. Shake your head yes and no. And then on the next exhale, have a seat. Okay. What I'd love to do before I have 2 great poses for Shavasana, but I would love to just practice the breath of fire. I do about 20 minutes of breath work every morning. And it's made such a difference in my life. And if I can encourage any of you to find a time during the day. But breath of fire is a wonderful breath work to do. And so we'll do that and then go into, there's two possibilities for Shavasana, and I'll show you those. But right now, let's do breath of fire. So sitting up straight, and I'm going to just so that we have so shoulders up, back and down, rooting down through your sits bones, core is engaged, shoulders away from your ears, hands press down, keep your palms onto your thighs. This is because you're pressing out. So you really, with your palms facing up is more difficult. So placing your palms in a downward pose, say that real fast, may be best for this breath work. So you draw in your belly and your pelvic floor. So we've talked about this. It's as though you hold when you're urinating in midstream. So that's when you draw in that muscle. That's your pelvic floor. And so you want to lick your lips. Make sure that I'll demonstrate because I can't do it I can't talk while I'm doing it. But basically it's a deep inhale and then exhale it out. And then the inhale takes care of itself. So it's so you'll feel that your core is engaged, your pelvic floor is pulled up, you're pushing out the air, you're not worrying about your inhale. So it's an exhale, and then your inhale and exhale, you're pressing out the exhale, the inhale takes care of itself. So let's try it. It's a really tough one. Give me a break on this one, because this is tough to teach, especially remotely, much less teach it at all. So on 3, we're going to inhale, exhale, lick your lips, and then pull in the pelvic floor, and as though you were blowing out birthday candles. Envision that. Okay, so inhale, exhale. Each exhale. Exhale to the clap. Pull in your pelvic floor. I'll count. We're doing about 30 more. We do 50 breaths. Feel your core engaged. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. It's a wonderful breath, and I hope you get it. Maybe you can YouTube, that. I would love a little person here that I could, teach it through. Let's do it once more. So you're just really, it's a and you're pushing your breath out. That's why you're holding in your pelvic floor. And you just don't want to be slumped over. So your shoulders are up, back and down. And so let's try it one more. On the deep inhale in, exhale, start. Out the breath. Keep blowing out a candle. It's 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Any feedback on that would be much appreciated because that may have just not gone anywhere. Okay, so for Shavasana, for those who, of course, Shavasana can always be on the ground, but here you can also come onto your knees. Well, for those who have knee problems, that's not such a great thing, but come back and hold on this way. Or, this was something I saw on YouTube. Or bring your calves up onto the chair. And this is wonderful. It allows the flushing out. I don't know if you can see, I certainly can't see the computer at this angle, but this is a really nice Shavasana. So everyone come into a Shavasana in whatever way is most comfortable for you. And we will, I'm gonna sit and kind of guide you through a quiet meditation. Find wherever you are. And I have two really nice quotes from two very different people. And that would be Steve Jobs and Mother Teresa. But first, wherever you are, and if you are recovering from an injury, from a surgery, or you're just darn tired from life, any one of those categories, just know yoga is something that can be practiced on a mat, on a chair, on the line at Starbucks, if we align the spine, get in touch with the breath, and notice the body. We become the witness of ourselves where we are. And if we can do that, then we're all yogis. We're all people who are trying to live in the present moment, sitting with their pain, their anxiety, wherever they are in life. And for a moment, connecting with the breath, with a straight spine. And that, my friends, is yoga. But being that Steve Jobs and Mother Teresa have far more to say than me, Steve Jobs says, "Don't let the voice of others' opinion drown out your own inner voice. And more important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Your heart and intuition somehow know already what you truly want to become." And our dear Mother Teresa adds, "If you are humble, nothing can touch you, neither praise nor disgrace, because you know who you are." And the reason I chose both of those is because so much of, I can only speak for myself, it matters not only what others think, but how my actions effect and can be misinterpreted. And so when we take time out and quiet all the externals, the voices, our situation, our feelings, and go inside and find the quiet, we discover we're not so bad after all. And this place is always available to us in those times of stress and anxiety. And the breath is the best vehicle I know of getting there. If you are on the floor or wherever you are, begin to wiggle your toes and feel each movement and marvel at that ability and your attention to it. Don't dismiss or undervalue this ability we have to go inside, to feel where we are, and to sit with it. Hopefully without judgment. And as you make your way back to a comfortable seated pose, we will conclude our time together in the way we started, with your sits bones pressed in to the mat, the seat, wherever you are, shoulders up, back and down. On your next inhale, extending out and up through the crown of your head, bringing palms together as they just melt down into heart center. The divine in me bows with such joy and gratitude to the divine in each of you for allowing me, trusting me to guide you through this sacred practice. Namaste. God bless. And that would be a wrap for chair yoga. My apologies. I am not much of a chair yoga instructor, but hopefully next week we will be on the mat. And for those that are recovering, blessings and Godspeed. Have a great day, everyone.